You're watching my early 2018 fantasy football rankings. Here are my quarterbacks. If it's your first time on this channel and you love watching draft videos, mock drafts, waivers, rankings, anything fantasy football, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell icon so you won't miss anything. I was talking to some Packer fans on a podcast I did last year on Couchcast, and I think it was like 4 people called in and 2 of them were Packers fans. And they were telling me that Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback to ever play. Best quarterback right now, no doubt about it. And I was like, hey, hold on. We got Tom Brady here. I don't know about greatest all time. I'm a huge Joe Montana fan, 49er fan. And last year, though, really got me thinking about this because I really noticed how good Aaron Rodgers was when he didn't play. And that's how it sometimes is. When someone's not there, you miss him the most. Like, you really get to appreciate how good this guy is. He makes magic happen. He rolls out the Hail Mary memes. I'll definitely say he's one of the best quarterbacks ever to play. That, hands down. I think he's probably the best right now, too. And I gotta rank him number 1. Like, there's just no way I'm ranking anybody else number 1. This guy is amazing. If Jimmy Graham can stay healthy the entire year, he's going to be good. So he's missing Jordy Nelson a little bit. Randall Cobb hasn't quite been what he used to be. But man, Aaron Rodgers, every year, man, this guy is freaking amazing. I got to rank him number 1. I know what you're thinking. You're scared. You're telling me defenses are going to zero in on Deshaun Watson now that they've seen him. But yeah, whatever. Okay, look, it's easier said than done to stop somebody. I mean, I heard the same thing with Jimmy Garoppolo. And then he led the Niners to a victory. Jimmy Garoppolo 7-0 as a starter. Look, it's way easier said than that. Like what are you gonna do to stop Deshaun Watson? You're gonna stop the pass. So earlier you weren't gonna stop the pass. Now you're gonna stop the pass, and you're also gonna stop him from running. Okay, I mean, awesome. Do it. Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson, man, he has the most upside out of any quarterback. He's just amazingly talented. He keeps improving. So whatever stats people throw at me, look, Deshaun Watson only got this many passing yards and that's not sustainable. Like, okay, all right, look, he was thrown into the Wolves week 1 and 2. He didn't even throw the ball the first 2 weeks. Like, it was just, it was a progression. He made a lot of rookie mistakes and he kept getting better. We saw that, like, the Patriots game, boom, he exploded. Then he exploded again. Then he exploded again. He exploded. Like, he's just a beast. After week 1, he was just thrown in at halftime. Then week 2, he played the Bengals. They were very conservative, and we saw that big run. That was pretty exciting play. He had like a 50-yard run for a touchdown. And then after that, man, he was throwing like 3+ touchdowns every single week. Like, it was weird not to see the guy have 4 touchdowns in a game. The upside is there. Of course, the risk is there. We had a very small sample size, so there are legitimate concerns here. He's basically a rookie still. He only played, what, like 6-7 games, and then he tore his ACL. So he's coming off that ACL injury. His offensive line sucks, which it sucked last year, and he did good. So there are some concerns. There are some risks, but in fantasy football, we love them rushing yards. And he has Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins and knows how to use those 2 guys. And number 4, I got Carson Wentz. And man, if you saw the video of him in OTAs, like, how's this guy not going to be ready for week 1? I mean, just look at him move. He looks freaking healthy. Like, I mean, week 1 is so far away. I think he'll be ready for the regular season. And man, is he good. And this team improved. Like, they lost Torrey Smith, who wasn't a vital part to that offense, but instead they got another wide receiver. So not too bad here. They still have Aguilar. Alshon Jeffrey's hopefully going to be healthy. I think if Nick Foles can put up a good amount of stats, I think Carson Wentz can. You got to have Carson Wentz top 5, I think, in any rankings. And then number 5, I have Russell Wilson. Some may say that's a little bit low. Look, I had Russell Wilson on my team last year. I drafted him late. I Snapchat the moment while I was drafting him because I knew it was a great value pick. I was very proud of it. But now he's going to be drafted very early. I think the offensive line still has a lot of holes, still has a lot of issues. And he loses Jimmy Graham. So he loses 10 touchdowns from Jimmy Graham. He also lost Paul Richardson, who was fairly talented. So with all that said, you're not going to get good value for Russell Wilson. You're going to have to draft him early. And I think the best he's going to do is what he did last year. And last year he finished QB1, but that was probably because Edelman was hurt. Carson Wentz got injured because Carson Wentz would have been QB1. And also Aaron Rodgers got injured. So Aaron Rodgers could have been a top 3 quarterback as well. I got Andrew Luck at number 6. Really, this doesn't even matter. We just have to see how he's doing. A lot of concern right now, but we'll just have to see if we'll gain some confidence and be like, you know what? I think Andrew Luck's going to be healthy the remainder of the season and he's going to start week 1. Or man, I really don't know what the heck's up with Andrew Luck. Let me move him down in my ranking. So we just have to wait and see. I got Drew Brees at number 10. I guess you can say that's, I'm thinking people will think that's too low. I mean, this guy's a Hall of Famer. He's a great quarterback. He's elite in real life. Like, there's no doubt about it. But if we see what happened to the defense, the gameplay, just the philosophy, you know, how they're playing, Sean Payton has changed it up. This team is different. Look, Drew Brees is throwing the ball 33 times per game last year. Okay, 33 pass attempts per game. 2010 to 2016, so the 6 years before that, he was throwing the ball 41 times a game. That's like, what is that, like 20% less pass attempts? Like, it's just real stat. This is concrete. Like, if you throw the ball 20% less, like, you're just not going to have the same stats. It's not going to happen. His efficiency goes up slightly, but we don't get fantasy points for efficiency. We want touchdowns. We want 5,000 pass yards. And he's just not going to get that if this continues. And the defense, all signs point to the defense being more consistent and better than last year. I know defenses are tough to predict. We don't know. Maybe they'll get worse, but that defense is super young. They should just get better. Marshawn Lattimore is a rookie. A lot of rookies on that team last year. A lot of young players. If their defense is better, there's just no reason for Drew Brees to throw the ball a lot more. I mean, they almost made it to the Super Bowl how they were playing. They got Kamara, which is going to help out a little bit, but you know, I don't see this happening. I don't see Drew Brees being a top 5 quarterback like he used to be. Last year, I drafted Matt Ryan too early in one league. I still won because my team was just amazing. I had like Zach Ertz, Kareem Hunt. I won. But this year, I think Matt Ryan won't do any worse than he did last year. So last year, he was okay. He wasn't good. He wasn't horrible, but he didn't pan out for people that drafted him because you had to spend an early round draft pick on him. But this year, he will move down. Quarterbacks are very deep, and I think this year he is going to return value because people are drafting him so late that I do think he has top 10 quarterback potential. He probably won't break top 5, probably not even top 7, but I do think there's a realistic chance that he will break as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. Get him late if he slips. There you go. And this is sort of like wide receivers. Like, quarterbacks are really deep, so you either go early for an elite one that you really love, or you just wait, man. You can even stream them in like in 10 team and 12 team leagues. Who cares? Just wait. Maybe Matt Ryan falls in the late rounds. You never know. I really liked Phillip Rivers, but I think I moved him down a couple spots because of Hunter Henry's injury. Also, Phillip Rivers is not that consistent. He's ranked the 16th most consistent quarterback. As far as like one game, you know, he does really well, then the next game he does really bad, and so on and so forth. He's a little bit up and down, a little bit unreliable. I think a lot of people agree with this one, number 15, Patrick Mahomes. As far as him just being really interesting, very high upside, very high risk pick here, and I absolutely love it. In most leagues, he's going to be your QB2, but man, I really don't see it as a bad strategy to wait really long time. Like, wait till the late rounds and just take 2 flyers on 2 quarterbacks. And I'll always come out with my quarterback pairings video, which is, I think, very useful because I don't necessarily use the pairings in every draft, but just doing the research and knowing about it gets you to be smarter when you do draft a quarterback. Gives you just that extra knowledge that other people don't even think about. Speaking of Ben Roethlisberger, here's a guy I'm probably gonna avoid, because a lot of people in the past have drafted Ben Roethlisberger as their QB1, or I guess high-end QB2, around like QB10. Like, he's around the 10th quarterback off the board, whatever it may be, 12th quarterback off the board, whatever. People draft him and they're kind of screwed. They kind of don't know who to start. Like, if you draft Ben Roethlisberger as your QB1, We know he's not good on the road. I mean, in 2016, he did a little better in 2017. In 2016, like, this guy was just awful on the road, and he's always been not good on the road and been pretty good at home. So, like, let's say he's facing the Jags. Like, he actually has a road game this year in 2018 against the Jags, and it's like, you're not starting him against the Jags on the road. Like, you're just not going to do that. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, if you don't have your elite guy, if you don't have Rodgers or Deshaun Watson or even Brees, like whoever you're really confident in and you like, you don't have that guy, you might as well just wait. Like, I'm not drafting Ben Roethlisberger like in round 7 or 8 or 9, whenever he's going. Like, I'm not doing it. So here's a good comparison. By the way, Ben Roethlisberger has other, like, he's playing the Broncos on the road. I think Broncos defense is going to be decent this year. And here's a comparison. So I got Ben Roethlisberger number 17. You might as well wait. A guy like Eli Manning. Ben Roethlisberger is being drafted in what, round 8 ADP? Yeah, round 8. When Eli Manning is going round 14 ADP. So let's say Ben Roethlisberger is going to be good, okay? We have Eli Manning, who's, look, he's not elite in fantasy. He's not the best, but the man's won 2 Super Bowls. He's decent. He's been struggling as of late, but I like the new head coach, and they got Schumer, Vikings offensive coordinator last year. He did one heck of a job, and everything points to him improving. Let's say you hate Eli Manning, okay? At least let me convince you this, that he will improve. Let's say you hate him. Let's say you think he's garbage. He's trash. I'm here to prove that he's going to be less trash at the very least. All right, look. He's got Odell Beckham returning from injury. That's a plus. He has the offensive line drastically improved. They draft one of the best offensive linemen. They drafted a guard, and they picked up in free agency the left tackle. That's amazing. So I think they upgraded actually 3 out of 5 offensive linemen. That's a huge boost. That's more than half the offensive line got an upgrade. So the offensive line went from being trash to being at least decent. Like, they should be pretty good. And they got Saquon Barkley, who is a phenom, just one of the best running backs to ever been drafted in the past decade. You know, as far as right now, we haven't seen him play, but just coming out of college, right now, we think this guy's amazing, and we know he's going to catch a lot of passes. And he also has Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and I think he got Cody Latimer now too, who's just, you know, a little bonus, okay? And he's got Jonathan Stewart, a running back who's not horrible, you know, to take some pressure off of him. Like, I'm not a huge Jonathan Stewart fan, but it doesn't hurt to have a running back. Well, this team hasn't had a running back since freaking like Tiki Barber, since they won the Super Bowl. They had Tiki Barber, and then they had Earth, Wind, Fire with Bradshaw and whatever, Brandon Jacobs, whatever that was. So they haven't had a running back, a good one, since they've won the Super Bowls. Man, this guy, he's going to improve. He's going to be a super sleeper. People still hate on Eli Manning, and this is awesome. Because you can take, you know what round 14 means? That's your last pick. Because if you're picking a liquor, if you're picking a kicker around 16, like the last round, and let's say you pick a defense around 15, and boom, you got Eli Manning, who's, in my eyes, a very high-end quarterback too. You can get him just at the end of the draft. He's going undrafted in some drafts. Some guys I'm intrigued about, just want to see what happens. I may not draft. I have Blake Bortles ranked 25th. He could easily be higher. Jaguars have the #1 strength of schedule when it comes to quarterbacks. And I'm also looking to see how Lamar Jackson does and if Trubisky takes that step in his sophomore year, just like Goff did. I'm just very curious to see it. And wow, is this quarterback class this year in, not rookie class, but in fantasy, this is just the quarterback position. Sorry, isn't this quarterback position deep? I mean, look, it's crazy. I mean, Blake Bortles can even pan out and be a good spot start some weeks. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Make sure you check out the other videos. Hit this couch icon to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't like it. I'll see you on the next video.